Good morning, and good morning. Okay, it's Friday. Friday is the day for rest to begin. Yes, that's our word for today is rest. How many of us get enough rest? I got to be honest, I am not one of them. I don't. I'm always on flex. I'm always on what's next. I'm always on keeping my calendar together. I always tell people that I know when I leave this world, I will rest. And it will be one that's been deserved by that time because I have put in a lot of hours of, being out here helping others, doing good in the world. And right now for Rotary, it's called Hope in the World. And I'm hoping that I'm doing just that. But I enjoy my time of moving gracefully throughout the world, just enjoying whatever it is that I'm given to do. And sometimes very excited about it. Sometimes I'm floating on it. Other times I'm just with it. I'm very comfortable in who I am and what I love to do. And so, this morning when I was looking around, I said, you know what? In fact, I went to choir rehearsal last night after doing my meeting and all those kinds of things yesterday. And a friend of mine, she said, "Girl, you gotta rest. You got." And I said, "That's tomorrow's word. That's today's word of how we look at our rest." Hey, Debbie. Debbie is one of those who doesn't always get a lot of rest because she enjoys doing things just as I do. How are you doing this morning, Debbie? I'm having my cup of joe. I just made it. That was my last thing I did before I ran down out the kitchen because I have some steps that leads up to my kitchen. I got some coffee here. It says I'm great, and you? I'm great. I am great. Glad that it is Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. I have a few commitments, but I'm glad the weekend is here. I'm looking forward to just maybe having a small period of rest. Have a couple of things that I have to meet a deadline of by Monday, so that's what I'm interested in doing. Good morning, Joan. Deb, there's Joan. Joan, there's Deb. Look at this. I missed you so much. See there? She will tell you how she loves you. She will. She will. So this morning, I was just looking at some stats, and I got this from the sleepfoundation.org because obviously, when we rest, we may be getting in some sleep, maybe. And so it talks about it. It says no matter how you answer this question, and the question is how much sleep or rest, I put rest, do you get? And it says no matter how you answer the question, you may rest easier knowing that you are not alone. So these stats pretty much set up to the fact that not everyone gets enough sleep, even though we intend to. Or we start out thinking that we're going to rest more. Sometimes we can't sleep. Sometimes something's happened, or we drank coffee too late in the evening, or something that kind of keeps us up, and or we wake up after a few hours of sleep. Some people will tell you that they rather kind of catnap all day long, where they get a sleep in when they can get it in, especially when they have babies, newborn babies. Used to tell parents, you sleep when they sleep, you rest when they rest. So anyway, here goes some of the stats that they have. It says sleep issues can affect people at all ages and impact many parts of our lives. It says while the science and nature of sleep is too complex, it is summed up on a single page. Taking a peek at sleep statistics nationwide can help you at least widespread understand all the things that you are and are not. It says an average, here's some stats. It says an average we spend about 2 hours per night dreaming. That's it. Okay. That's why they say if you're dreaming towards the time you're getting ready to get up, you're more apt to remember that, as long as you don't move too much, and you're kind of, maybe getting up and writing it down. But it says mostly during, and that's going to be during your REM sleep. And REM is obviously a deeper sleep than just regular, the sleep. It says an average adult sleeps on their side. I don't know. Are you side sleepers? Write it in there. Are you side sleepers? I am. I start outside, but I might wake up where I'm on my back. But I know I start outside. Let's see. You're a side sleeper. Joan, you side sleeper or back? But anyway, it says on people that sleep on their back, they're 38% on their back. And it says on their stomach is only 7%. I had a girlfriend that's the only way she could go to sleep is she slept on her stomach. Now, when I was younger, I did. But as I got older, the side became more, the way I like to sleep. So I generally sleep on my right side. And I guess I would sleep on my left if the TV was over there. Because I start with TV and then I try to put a timer on it so that it will go off. So that's my noise in my background. And it says 7% of adults nap every day. Are you a napper? Do you take naps? I know for myself, I only take naps if I'm sick. That's it. Only if I'm sick. If I'm not sick, I'm not taking a nap. I'll figure out something else to do. Now, sometimes if I'm exhausted, if I have a lot of things that I've been working on and I'm exhausted, then I will also. And that is not that I intended to take a nap. It's that I sit down long enough and the nap comes. Naps, no naps, no naps. I flip from one side to the other. Okay. Sometimes we do. It says 81% of adults have taken a nap of 10 minutes or longer in the past 3 months. So it even tells you that. And the nap, it says, but it says the average nap is 1 hour. The average nap. And I know I have some people, after church on Sunday, it's standard, standard operation that everybody goes to sleep. And I know on Thanksgiving, we all used to tell mom if she gave us too much food, we were going to sleep. And some of us would. We'd get a nap in and then we'd get up and eat again, which I don't know how good that was in terms of the pounds, but you do what you do. And I guess if you're not a person that does it every day, it's kind of okay. So anyway, I found a poem this morning by Nia Heyman, and it says, curl up into the womb of universe, pull a blanket of stars over your head and let the galaxy give birth to your dreams. So certainly it gives some attitude toward understanding the fact that our bodies need rest. We need to sleep any way we can. So when I look at this word rest, I didn't do sleep, I did rest, although it's a part of it. It says rest. It means cease work or movement in order to relax, refresh oneself, or recover strength. I think that's smart. Even though I got to admit, I don't always do it, especially if I have a major project. I'm probably working all of that 22 hours in the 24-hour day, just up. So when the word is broken down, it talks about it being something that we do to relax, to repose ourselves, to slow down, to take 5, to sit down, to take time off, to be a slacker. Do you know any slackers that will go to sleep in a minute? It says, do nothing, slump, and lie down. I think all of us can pretty much relate to that. When I look at the idea of saying, are you stuck on sleeping or resting or absolutely staying up too long, period? You never do it. It happens to us. I know I sometimes get stuck where I can't sleep. In fact, last week, I think I had a meeting late in the day and I had coffee. 3:30 in the morning, I'm looking around. So I said, well, should I read? No, I said, that would be a stimulant. Should I watch TV? I did that. And I turned on something that was light. It wasn't requiring me to think about anything. It was just in the background, and I went back to sleep. But it took me a minute. So when I break the word down, I start out with my R is repose. And repose is a state of rest, a state of sleep, of tranquility, inactivity. You're not doing anything. Restfulness, peace, stillness, roust. Okay, we do that. We we do that often. Slumber, find leisure time. You know, I find that our lives are so busy. We have a lot to do in the course of busyness. I mean, it seems like with the cell phone, we're much more reachable than we were with the house phone, because when the house phone rang, if we weren't there, we did not answer it. We did not have to. Now, with the cell phone, if they're not writing you as through your text messages, then they're calling you through the actual cell connection, or they're sending you emails if your email is into your phone, which most people by nowadays have all those things all in one area. Basically, this handheld computer, okay, is full of your data, your waking hours, and sometimes even your sleeping hours. When you wake up, someone's written you during the night to say, hey, did you remember this? Can we do that? Recline is a good word. And let me put on my glasses. Recapture. That's a good word. I have on my blues today, which is supposed to be, when I'm reading online, it's supposed to make it easier. So all those are good. Those are great words to understand the significance of our rest, to realize that we sometimes can recapture ourselves by going to sleep and getting up, or we find relief in sleep. Sometimes people that sleep too much are trying to ward off some of the things that the actual physicality of moving around and everything causes them strife. You know, it may be something physical in terms of their movement. It may be something emotional, or it could be mental. So sometimes sleep relieves some of that. And I know that's one of the things when they're giving out meds for, depression, mental illness, all those kinds of things. They're looking at the fact that they may have a certain kind of calming and almost sleepiness that comes with them, as part of a way to just help everything slow down. The brain slows down, the body slows down, and the person is more apt to rest. Refreshment is good. Recline, relief, recuperate. I love that, recuperate, because some of us have had to have a period of recuperation, especially if we've been sick. When we move further on in the word of rest, I have ease. I think, ease is absence or difficulty of effort. I don't want to make it difficult. Good morning, Calithia. How are you? Good to see you in the space. Good morning. Good morning. Today our word is rest. Do you get your rest? Right? Yes or no? Do you get your rest? I personally don't do as well as I should, but the statistics shows that as you get older, you have less will or less ambition, less concern, and physically less interest. Your body just doesn't crave it as much, of needing rest. So there you go. She said enough. That's a good word, Deb. Enough. How much do you get? Enough. But anyway, ease is what I have. And ease says that it's effortless. Effectual, that's good. I like effectual. Um, uh, I have effortless, no bother. When I'm resting, I want no bother. And then I'm of no bother to anyone else. When we're resting in our easiness, it's simplicity. It's simple for us to just lay down. Easement. That's good, Deb. Emancipate. That's right. Release it. Let it go. Let it go. It says proficiency and no trouble. And when we are proficient and of no trouble, that means we're probably at a place where we're at our maximum of rest or nearing it. And there's no trouble that we're currently worried about, and we are of no trouble to anyone else. I tell them I'm in my meeting. I'm sorry, I usually turn that off, and I didn't turn it off today. I'd call them after. But the next thing, next word I have in my word of rest is sleep. There you go. That's the big word. Rest requires you to looking at sleep. Well, it doesn't require us to do it. It just requires us to look at it. It says, and sleep is a condition of body and mind that typically recurs for several hours every night, in which the eyes are closed, the postural muscles relaxed, the activity of the brain is altered, and consciousness of the surroundings practically are suspended. Okay, meaning we're not present for eyes shut. That's good. Shut eye. That's right. Satisfaction, slumber, all those are good, good, good. Most of us probably have done it ourselves, where we've seen our babies with their eyes open, not wanting to go to sleep, and they're asleep. And we sometimes do that, where people are talking to us and we've taken a nap on the phone. I'm guilty. Guilty as charged. I just do it. It's not intentional. It's just sometimes I'm tired and I'm talking to somebody, and I'll do that. Self-importance. Okay, and it would be self-important that we take care of ourselves and rest, yes, Joan. And then stretch out. If I stretch out, a lot of times I know I'm going to sleep. So many times I will just sit up. But if I lean back too much in a too comfortable chair, that's it. I'm gone, even if it's just a quick nap, of which sleep is. It could be a nap, a doze, a siesta, like in Europe, a snooze, a cat nap. I like that cat nap. How about 40 winks? Then I'm going to go down for 40 winks. How about a Rip Van Winkle? Yeah, man, he slept a long time, didn't he? Beauty sleep, power nap, bye-bye, that's one, and then slumber. All those are what sleep, nicknames of sleep are. Good morning, Miss Rosie. You getting enough sleep at night? Enough rest? Are you resting? But I do as best I can. I don't rest as much as I should, but I don't find myself to be tired during the course of a day. So I probably only do 5 hours. It says the average adult needs 7 hours of sleep. The average adult needs 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Okay. Most of us get far less than that, unless we go to bed at 6, 7 o'clock. I don't. I'm more like 10:30. After the news. I'm after the news. I want to hear a little bit of what's going on in the world. And I shouldn't, because that's when you get riled up again if you're hearing something that's kind of crazy. Let's see. No, see, Miss Rosie said no, she does not get enough rest. But, well, the comfort is knowing that as we get older, we require it, but we don't take it, and we don't feel tired enough. It just says the body just works differently when we get older. So that means children need a lot of sleep. They probably could do easily with 10 hours of sleep at night and be fine, able to be, good students when they get to school, to be attentive and awake, because that certainly helps. My tea of rest, of which I have. What would you do for your tea before I give you my tea? What would you give me for a tea of adding to the word rest? What would it mean to you? Take 5. There it is. Take 5 would be good. Let me see if anybody gets my word. You usually have my words, Debbie. Tranquility, there it is. That's what I have. Good morning, Maurice. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Today we were looking at rest. Maurice, do you get a lot of rest at night? Yes or no? Total. That's it. That's good too. Do you get rest at night, Maurice? Some of us don't. Plain and simple. We do not get enough rest. Some of us do. Time out. It is time out. Sometimes we do have time out. Time away, time, easy time that is easy. Yes, all of that, all of that. But anyway, I have tranquility, and tranquility is the quality and state of being tranquil. Okay, calm. I find that when I get in my house from whatever my busyness was during the course of a day, my calm begins once I open that door. Once I open the door and I come in my house, there's nobody here. It is quiet. It is almost like an opportunity for me to regroup. So it starts once I walk in the door, and by the time I actually rest, meaning I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning up the kitchen, I'm not doing any of those things that get me to the point where I can rest. When I actually, rest, that's it. I'm resting. And it doesn't always require, okay, good, Maurice, doesn't always require that I'm asleep. Not right away. Not right away. So for me, tranquility talks about the state of being tranquil and calm. It says it's the peace that you get. How many of you feel peaceful when you are nestled in your bed? I am. I feel it like that. It says then you're looking at the calmness that comes about, the quietness. Sometimes I can be places and I am just perfectly happy with hearing nothing but the birds, the bees, traffic. I'm good. I don't need anything. I don't need it. And it says there's with tranquility, you have serenity. You have that, just that point of being very comfortable in the stillness. They always do. I remember a song when I was little that my older brothers and them used to sing, in the still of the night. Like the night, the quietness of the evening was very comforting to people. They enjoyed it. But sometimes the night also brings you, it brings you a calm. Some people they may find something else that happens in the night for them, but I like my peace. I like my quiet time. And if I've had a busy day, then I know what it is to be quiet. If my dreams are not disturbing, right? And that's another thing I didn't really go over. It says that we only dream, I think they said maybe about 38%. And that's going to be the period when you're just down low enough in your sleep to dream. And then it says that in order for you to remember your dreams, it's probably got to be that maybe you were coming out of it when you were waking up, that the dream was still, some of the elements of the dream were still there. It's so funny. I just remember having a dream when I was in graduate school, at Albany State in New York. And I remember this dream was just prolific. It was just real. It was almost scary to me because if you ever been to that campus, they have these 4 pillaring type towers that kind of flank each corner of the campus. And they're a good distance apart. Trust me, I've walked them. And so sometimes I would have a psychology class in we'll say building 1, and another one way over in building 3. And, I only had a few minutes to get there. So I would be running between buildings and classes. And I just remember this dream that I had where there was a fountain in the middle of all of those buildings, right in the middle of we'll say the center of the campus. And I just remember waking up in the dream, and I was standing in the fountain, and all the fountains had like animated, like they were like birds. They weren't real birds. They were animated birds, and they were going up and going down. And my brother was there. And I'm like, where did that dream come from? Don't know. I never took those classes, which talks about the significance of a dream. That probably would have scared me. But I just remember the dreams being so vivid. Like I woke up saying, well, why would he be there? And why am I in this dream in the middle of, first of all, I do not swim. That's the first thing. Second of all, I don't like getting wet unless it's just in the shower and getting dressed. That's it. Don't ask me about hanging out in water. We're not going to do it. So I'm thinking but I never found out what was, unless I played numbers. I remember my mom and them, we were younger, used to play the numbers before they were legalized. And I remember in New York that I remember asking my mom, well, what's that mean? She said, well, look it up in the dream book. So I didn't look it up. I got to be honest. I didn't go play the number. It was just a weird thing that happened. Prolific dreams are scary. That's right. Sometimes dreams are scary. Sometimes they can make you wake up and your heart is beating fast, or you're crying, or you're anxious, you're nervous, you're looking around your house saying, what in the world? But let's face it, that's the way our systems work. We don't know what caused it. We don't know if we went to sleep thinking about one thing, and it, basically it catapulted in our heads to make it even more and more weird. And I don't know. They used to say that if you ate certain things at night, that your rest would be disturbed. I don't know. Did any of you ever find that out? Or if you ate like things that were sugary, or things that were salty, or things, or things that were heavy. They said like a heavy stomach used to make you not sleep well, not rest well. I don't know. Seemed like to me that every time I ate a heavy meal, especially after Thanksgiving or something, I was ready to go take a nap, because it seemed like all my energy had moved from my ability to move in my head to think down to my stomach, what needed to deal with the food that was in there. So, I've gotten better, where I don't eat as much. I don't eat as much, and I really look at, proportion wise, and also when I'm going to eat. So I try not to eat, except for I got this thing I love pretzels and popcorn. Those are probably my favorite little snacks to eat. And I got some whole grain ones the other day, and I offered them, I offered them to a friend of mine. She said, girl, please, if you're going to eat pretzels, get real pretzels. I said, but these are whole grain pretzels. I said, they don't have all the maltedness or whatever they put in them, so she said, no, thanks, Sandy. No, thank you. So sometimes we get what we get. It says, when I was sick, I would always have bad dreams. Okay. All right. And I can imagine that. I can imagine that sometimes we go to bed anxious and fearful. We just think, well, I'm going to sleep it off. I'll be better. And sometimes we don't really get as better as we should get. We sleep into it. And then when we come out, either we feel refreshed or we feel tired. How many of you go to sleep and feel tired when you get up? Every once in a while, I do. That's because you didn't get enough rest. I didn't. It says, never when I would have a fever. Okay. So the fever would probably just take over for anything else that was going on. So that was that, and that answers the questions. But when you're just having dreams that are bad and scary, then that would be something else. Yeah. But listen, the weekend is on. I want you to rest. I'm going to get some rest a little bit anyway. I have dreams that came true. Me too. Me too. I've had a few dreams that have come true, and I'm like, wow, scary, but good. I mean, they were good dreams. They weren't bad dreams. You know, I don't want to be found in the fountain at Albany State with some birds that are animated and my head is going up and down like theirs with my brother there. I was like, what are you here to rescue me? I don't even know what that was all about, but that was funny. It says, you all are my family. Love you. Oh, we love you too, Debbie. We love everybody that comes on here. I thank you guys for putting in the time with me. I know you could be doing something else, but I'm glad that you spend, 35, 45 minutes with me every week. I plan to get some rest. I want you to do the same. But also in your getting your rest, also get some joy. It says we're having trouble streaming into Facebook. This may be an issue. Facebook's and okay, they're giving me a notice that okay, we'll just say remove that. Remove that. Uh-oh. Cancel that. Okay, save changes. I don't know what they were doing. They got a whole bunch of stuff that came up on the screen. But listen, you all have a wonderful weekend. I think they've been kicking you all out. Don't know what's going on, but I love you guys. I will see you on Monday with another word of Are You Stuck? Love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.